So this is free thinking on how I see women as being the same as cocaine, essentially, men. So men relate to women in the same way as a drug addict would relate to cocaine. Now, when I'm thinking a few things. One thing is that a relationship with a woman for a man is obviously very appealing, it's very nice to be intimately involved with a woman. The issue, I think, is that to some extent, men are not in control of themselves regarding this attraction. And so men are hurting themselves in a sense. They are making life difficult for themselves because they are so dependent on women in the same way as a drug user is dependent on his certain drug. I don't think it is healthy for a man to be intimately involved with a woman, in the same way as I don't think it's healthy for a man to be taking cocaine. I think it is accurate to see things this way because it does seem that men subjugate themselves and make themselves vulnerable by having intimate relationships with women. There are legal issues and social issues. Men lose their children. Men are accused of rape. Men are accused of sexual harassment. It's basically difficult for men to interact with women without exposing themselves to various forms of danger in his life, various problems that can occur. I'm wondering how to deal with this situation. In my own life, I decided to no longer have romantic relationships with women. So I will be celibate, or I think it's called a man going his own way. Now, clearly, it's a big sacrifice to no longer be romantically involved with women. But I see it as a sacrifice in the same way as a drug user walking away from cocaine. Now, for a drug user to walk away from cocaine is a very big sacrifice and it's very difficult to do. And I'm seeing this the same way. It's very difficult for me to no longer pursue women for romance. But as I say, I do think it's a wise thing to do, a sensible thing to do, and it's better for my life to do this, even though it doesn't feel very good, and it feels like an awful sacrifice. But I've covered various issues that arise because of men's relationships with women. Intimate relations. I've covered these issues in a ManWomanMyth documentary, which is on this channel as well. And there are a number of issues. And misandry in society, where misandry is the hatred of men. It is very prevalent. I'm not sure if it's accurate to describe it as growing, but it definitely is staying at a high level. And men do need to protect themselves. And for me, foregoing intimate relationships with women is what I think is the best route. And it's what I would recommend to men out there to do, for the reasons I've outlined in my documentary. But men are basically under assault in society, and it's particularly, using men's relationships with women as a weapon to assault men. And men do need to defend themselves. And the main way I can see of doing this is to forego intimate relationships with women. Now, obviously, it's a terrible, awful sacrifice, but men have to realize that focusing life around the pursuit of women and relationships has proven to be unhealthy for men. And I do think it needs to change. Now, whether it's possible for this to change is another matter. But I do think it is necessary.